Right, we're now ready to start typing a script. I'm going to use an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer as an example. The first thing we do is to open your copy of Microsoft Word. This is Microsoft Word 2003 or Office 2003 or Office XP. They're all very similar. So that's the version for the slightly older version of Microsoft Word. So I double click on that. And we now have an empty document. Now the next thing we do is to select File and New. On the right hand side it now changes to what kind of a new document, and we want it from a template on my computer. So we click on this, and here we now get a number of tabs for the different kinds of templates that you can load and use. And here we have the Scriptwriters Toolkit called Scripts 5. Now you can see the different kinds here, and it's easier if we actually read the full names. So if I just click on List, we see the full names of each one. Script on Hollywood, that is a film star single camera script, and my printer is loaded with A4 because I'm in the UK. So I'm going to choose this one. If you are in the US and your printer is loaded with US letter paper, then click on this one instead. Right, so I click on that one, highlight it with a single left click, and then I click OK here. Right, we now have an empty, fresh document based on that template, and here is my intro here, which you can read later on. Basically you just click on continue there. Now it wants to know the title of your script, and in this case, as I said, we're going to use Buffy as an example. So this is Buffy. Okay. The next thing we do is to type in the character names. Generally put them in order of significance first, so put your primary characters first and then your subsidiary characters afterwards. So Person 1 will be Buffy. I press Tab key to move to the next one. Person 2 will be Willow. Person 3 will be Xander. Person 4 will be Rupert. Person 5 is Cordelia. Person 6 is Angel. Person 7 is Joyce. Person 8 is Jenny. Person 9 is Ted. Person 10 is Detective Stein. And person 11 is a vampire. Now we've got some spare persons left over, which we can, if necessary, introduce extra characters later in the script. We can change any of these names at a later stage. We may have to alter some of the dialogue if that's the case. So if I OK that now, those names become embedded into the Toolkit system. The next thing is it wants us to store the initial version of the document. So it has automatically opened the My Documents folder, and here is the My Scripts folder that we made earlier. So we open that, and then we put in the file name of the script now, Buffy Ted. Right, that will be your working file name for the script. So we just do a save, and then we're ready to go. Now it produces what I call a crib sheet, which gives you all the shortcut keys, and the idea is you print off this page and you keep it on hand. So we can do a file and print current page, and away we go. Next thing we do is we actually may want to change the actual headings here. So I change this here to the author's name, Joss Whedon, and we can overtype this with the name of the series, which is Buffy the Vampire text layer. Down here you would put in your name or your agent's contact name and address here. We're now ready to start typing the script, but let's get rid of this distracting blank document which is at the back here by closing that and just move this back to the center of the screen. Okay, we've scrolled up and down to the right place in the script. Now your front page requirements may vary depending on who you intend sending your submission script or spec script to. This is a guideline here as to a suitable front page, but it's not set in stone. You can change it to suit yourself. We come down to the beginning of the script itself. The blank template starts with an initial slug line built in there, both X and int. You're going to delete one of them because you only use the initial. This is the very first scene of the script. So in the case of this particular Buffy script, it is X'd. Now in this case we're going to delete that slug line and go back up to there and then down one. The reason for doing that is so that it automatically sets the style of this paragraph to visual exposition, otherwise known as stage directions. So here we type in Buffy After this piece of visual exposition or stage directions, the first piece of dialogue is by Xander. So consulting our crib sheet, we know he is character number 3, so we press down Control and 3, and behold, we've now ready to actually type his dialogue, which is the next piece of dialogue is by Willow. She's number 2, so Control plus 2, and then we type dialogue line. Xander repeats, he's number 3. Next one is Willow, so again I press Control plus 2 for below. After a while these combinations will become automatic to you, and you'll actually associate these compound key presses directly with the character. So in your mind, Control plus 1 will become Buffy, Control plus 2 will become Willow, Control plus 3 will become Xander. So it just flows out of your fingers. After a while these things will just set themselves in your mind, and you'll be able to type scripts very quickly. You will know in your mind who's next to speak, and you simply press that combination and you're ready to type that person's dialogue without any further hassle whatsoever. It's just simply ready to go. Right, now we're ready to go on Willow, so I'll just type in the next line. And then Xander is next. And now here comes Buffy's first bit of speech. So that's Control 1, and in this instance she wasn't paying attention. So Xander explains. And so on. Now we've typed a little bit, me somewhat slowly. So we'll just make sure that we do a save operation by clicking on this button up here. That ensures that what we've stored on the hard disk is what we've typed so far. You will want to do these operations fairly frequently. Now I'm going to pause for a minute here